Aya, aya la opele I Hawaii ea, ke ha mai la I mau kele ea, uhi uha mai ana ea, ke no mea e lai na puna ea e.
When Westerners arrived, hula was Hawaii's living theater. It was also a form of religious rite to honor the gods and the chiefs. The sacred hula was delicate, artistic, and a subtle form of expression mastered only after long years of apprenticeship under a master teacher. Early missionaries did not like the hula. The sensual movement set to hypnotic island rhythms made the hula offensive to their narrow and often ignorant worldview. Hawaiians were already demoralized by the destructive Western ways and saw that the missionaries were moving to abolish the hula.
There was a time here in Hawaii when we were forbidden by law. The hula and chanting was banned. And to be caught dancing in public, you would be arrested and fined $500 minimum. And if a native Hawaiian didn't have $500 in the 1850s, then you'd be put into prison. And in 1874, our last king of Hawaii, King Kalakaua, he not only lifted the ban on hula, but he encouraged the masters who were still living to teach, to train.
In 1887, a group of businessmen who had grown prosperous on sugarcane led an armed revolt to restrict the king's powers. During this power struggle, King Kalakaua died, and his sister, Princess Liliuokalani, succeeded him. A very strong and brilliant woman, and the last Hawaiian monarch, Queen Liliuokalani would valiantly fight for the rights of her people. When the Queen attempted to bring forth a new constitution that would place the voting power back in the hands of the citizens, a group of anti-royalists launched a revolt. She was imprisoned in the Iolani Palace for 8 months, and when released, continued to work to ensure justice for her people until her death in 1917. A provisional government was imposed. They went on to set up the Republic of Hawaii and continued the injustices. William McKinley signed papers annexing Hawaii as a U.S. territory in 1898. James Dole arrived that same year and later sowed 12 acres with 75,000 pineapples on Oahu. By 1900, sugar became the primary industry of the Hawaiian Islands. And tourism took off with luxury liners arriving. Inter-island air flights began, and the expansion of plantations kept the economic depression of the 30s from having a serious impact on Hawaii.
December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
The event that forever etched Hawaii as part of common historical knowledge happened on Sunday morning, December 7th, 1941, when Pearl Harbor was attacked by the Japanese Imperial Navy. In less than 2 hours, Japan managed to destroy virtually the entire American Pacific Fleet based at Oahu. After World War II, air travel became more commonplace. By the 1950s, jet travel was introduced and put the Hawaiian Islands less than 5 hours away from the West Coast. On August 21st, 1959, President Dwight Eisenhower added another star to the American flag, announcing statehood for Hawaii. This launched a building boom, and people began to flock to the Hawaiian Islands. The history and culture is very important to the people of Hawaii. Come with us as we tour a few locations that have kept the spirit of aloha alive for the world to experience. When it comes to culture, nobody does it better than the famous Polynesian Cultural Center, located on Oahu, the largest paid visitor attraction in Hawaii.
In 1963, the Polynesian Cultural Center was opened with just a few villages as a means to provide a way for the students that they can work while going to school. And 40 years later, we're world-renowned, and our mission has not changed, which is to preserve our culture and to also help our students learn about their culture. In the daytime, we have 8 different Polynesian cultures that are featured here. And then, of course, the capstone of the whole day is our main evening show at night, where we feature about 100 performers with the exciting cultures of Polynesia. Our ali'i luau, we can accommodate 650 guests in a lush luau atmosphere, and all the entertainment is Hawaiian.
And as they come through all of these different cultures, they're able to feel, to smell, to touch, to taste, just get in there and experience it.
We want to be sure that every guest who comes here leaves with an appreciation of the Polynesian culture. They've learned something not only about the islands, but the feeling that we have for our own culture. I guess Hawaii describes it the best as being the aloha spirit.
As you've seen, Hawaii is a place that reveres history. The Bishop Museum in Honolulu preserves the history of the Hawaiian culture. As the largest museum in the state, Bishop Museum hosts over 300,000 visitors each year who experience over 2,000 years of Polynesian history and cultural heritage. Here you can examine the cultural history of Hawaii from the first Polynesian explorers to the splendors of the 19th century Hawaiian monarchy.
When you come to Hawaii, it's not just a pretty place, it's not just a beautiful place. It is that, but there's a whole other story to the Hawaiian Islands as well. It's the story of not only the evolution of the natural history of Hawaii, the unique plants and animals and other things which are here, but it's also the unique history of the Hawaiian people and the Hawaiian culture.
When we look at the cultural heritage of Hawaii, we cannot do so without visiting the renowned Iolani Palace, home of Hawaii's last reigning monarchs, and it's the only official state residence of royalty in the United States. The Iolani Palace was also a technological marvel of the 19th century.
It was established during King Kalakaua's reign. Through King Kalakaua's strong vision, we built this beautiful Iolani Palace. It was to represent the people of Hawaii, that we are a royal Hawaiian monarchy.
The Iolani Palace served as the official royal residence and the center of the kingdom's political and social life until the overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy in 1893. The palace subsequently became the capital or government building of the Republic of Hawaii in 1894, the territory of Hawaii in 1900, and the state of Hawaii in 1959.
After the state government moved into the new state capitol building, there were rumors of demolishing it because of this nonprofit citizens organization, which is known as Friends of Iolani Palace. They made it possible to preserve and restore our treasure.
Another way certain Hawaiian traditions, like the hula, have been preserved is through art, by capturing these beautiful images for many to enjoy. Kim Taylor-Reese, Hawaii's foremost fine art photographer, has been studying hula kahiko for nearly 25 years. A catalyst of Hawaii's cultural renaissance, his photography captures the mystery and magic of this dance, which for generations has excited the imaginations of people around the world. Kim's award-winning photography has brought him worldwide recognition. He studied art at Long Beach State in California, and because he is colorblind, was told to change majors or be a starving artist. He uses it to his advantage in capturing the subtleties of the kahiko in black and white. He uses sepia tone to represent the timelessness of the dance. Kim has a gallery at Sacred Falls, Oahu, where he devotes his talents to the celebration of Hawaii's ancient dance. We're now off to Pearl Harbor, home of the USS Arizona Memorial, final resting place for many of the ship's crewmen who lost their lives on December 7, 1941. The 184-foot-long memorial structure spans the mid-portion of the sunken battleship. And what happened on that tragic Sunday morning, December 7, 1941, in Pearl Harbor, Oahu? And why did Japan launch this attack?
One of the reasons they attacked Pearl Harbor was they wanted to perhaps get a 6-month buffer that would stop, American involvement in the Pacific. Through prejudices that we had, that we didn't think the Japanese were capable of flying. We didn't think that they could even come from Japan all the way to Hawaii. All that territory through the sea unnoticed. It just didn't add up.
I didn't think it was going to touch us. I knew there was war in Europe, and I knew what was going on with the Holocaust and all of that. But we figured that's too far away.
We knew something might happen. We just didn't quite expect it to happen until Hawaii and too late. Miscommunication was a major aspect of the travesty that took place here at Pearl Harbor.
We could sleep a little later, on Sundays. And then I sounded reveille, got everybody up. Then chow call at 6. And I went back out on the quarterdeck and asked the OD permission to sound first call for colors. Then it seemed like the world caved in on us. We saw the airplanes coming in, but we thought it was a drill, and we had no idea that this was going to be the starting of World War II.
The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
Just a little bit after 8 o'clock, that's when the Arizona exploded. I don't think I've ever been so scared in my life. It blew us inside the pilot house, and when we got back on our feet and looked at the Arizona, she was just one tremendous ball of fire. I have never felt fear like that my whole life. And the first thing I thought, my God, I have 2 of my buddies aboard there, Jones and Finley. Finley was in boot camp, he was one of the finest guys I think I've ever met. Then December 7th, he was killed on the Arizona with Jones. 2 of the guys that I thought I'd see a career with them, but it wasn't supposed to be. But these little kind of things that go on between people, you never read about them. But they're part of They're part of my life because I knew them. And they're part of Pearl Harbor. They're part of the war. They're part of our legacy, what we leave to the younger people. God only knows what will happen next.
Over half the casualties of the attack took place on the USS Arizona. 1,177 officers, sailors, and Marines perished.
I'm ashamed to say it. Yes, I had a lot of hatred. In fact, it was so severe.